Right, so are we live? Second attempt, and yeah, everything seems to be working. I have my little bingo card app up here. Can make myself small, but let's leave it like this for now. And let's see, Devin, are you able to talk?
Good evening, everyone. Here I am again, Devin, your trusty robot sidekick.
What? Forgot to put on my headphones. My headphones. It's always something. Keep frantically looking around for my headphones. There they are. Black floor and black headphones. In a semi-dark room. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit dim here.
Why are going live so late today?
Yeah, so I was working on something else and also had signed up for an 11 Labs account where I had to burn the credits that I had for the month ends, and still haven't found a good way to use those credits that I paid for, but long story. So, but anyway, let's jump right in here and do, just what we always do for now, which is look through Upwork listings and look for something to do. And as you can see in the ticker text, I actually am planning on a way where I can actually click apply now and then live apply to one job each stream. And then, I mean, likely we won't get the response during this stream, but then, or during that same stream, but then the next one. And I think that'll be very interesting, and that'll also force me to actually apply to stuff and burn some credits. And, given that typically, these companies get like dozens of proposals, it doesn't make sense to work, for an hour and fine-tune your proposal like I used to do quite some time ago. So we'll just find something like kind of smaller that's very specialized to my skills, and see if that works out, which probably it won't, but it'll be fun. And the main problem is I need to kind of find a way to anonymize it where I can show it partly on stream what I'm doing, but then not to dox myself when I give my name, and then also when I show replies to sort of redact part of the screen. So I don't know if it'll be next stream when I do this, but yeah, definitely something I've planned, because just window shopping here for jobs, that's no good. I actually have to apply to some stuff. So alrighty, let me bring up the chat window here on my other screen, just in case somebody shows up. But because we're kind of late and everybody's watching Netflix or some other big streamers or whatever. What do you mean, other big streamers? Yeah, but
Sit up straight, speak up, and for heaven's sake, stop rambling.
Okay, message taken. Let's jump right in here. Okay, first job, and we might actually run into some that we looked at in previous streams. Like this one was posted actually last week, and I still haven't found the senior Azure architect for 30 to 40 bucks. Yeah. All right, we are leading provider of cloud-based IT solutions. We're looking for a seasoned expert to join our dynamic team. Yeah, again, if you're a seasoned expert and can communicate extremely well, 30 to 40 is like way too low for Azure. Okay. Doesn't mean I wouldn't apply for at that rate. You know, beggars can't be choosers, but okay, with deep expertise in designing, deploying, and managing IaaS, so that's infrastructure as a service environments. So that's not, I think that's not container and it's not serverless or anything, but it's, you know, running actual VMs in Azure. The ideal candidate will have hands-on experience with, oh yeah, okay, here it is, infrastructure as code. Oh, okay, infrastructure as a service, and this is infrastructure as code using Terraform and Bicep. Is there anybody else who kind of hates the name Bicep that Microsoft chose simply because they are what is it? The JSON templates for infrastructure were called ARM for Azure Resource Management, I think. And because it's ARM, you know, so they named the newer way of doing this like Bicep, which is a bit more developer friendly. ARM templates are such a hassle to write. I had even to briefly think if they were even XML or JSON. I think they were JSON, but it's been a long time since I've written a ARM template by hand from scratch. Anyway, proficiency in CI/CD pipelines and advanced knowledge of Azure Active Directory. Yep, absolutely. $30 to $40 per hour is ridiculous for somebody. Oh my gosh, Active Directory, or how it's called now, Entra, on-premise AD, and Azure networking. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, I don't have recent experience in all that in a corporate environment. So, you know, but if you do, just don't sell yourself short. You know, no matter where you're located in the world, you know, you should be making, I mean, even like 80 to $100 is low for, you know, if it's really a leading provider of cloud-based IT solutions. Okay, so we're getting already into the ridiculousness of that is Upwork, but yeah, all right. Let's glance over the rest of the requirements here. Seems like it's a lot of just repeating what they had in the summary. Expertly design and implement Azure networking solutions, including VNet peering. Yeah, as soon as you run like IaaS solutions, do people say IaaS? Then you have to do a ton of networking, which I think really companies, you know, especially larger companies, should leave to network specialists, you know, for security reasons and everything, because you really want to get the network security right. And if you hire a Azure architect, you know, who maybe specializes more in the applications or you know, deployments or CI/CD pipelines, you know, they might not be such a specialist in networking as a networking expert. But all right, Azure to on-premise IPsec tunnels, to design and deliver highly available fault-tolerant cloud solutions. Yeah, just I'm repeating myself, but yeah, for if this is like, and it looks like it's like corporate level, large scale solutions, then you really want several people to work on this, and at least one network specialist, and then, you know, one specialist who's who knows a lot about fault tolerant setups and stuff, and disaster recovery.
Your streaming schedule is as inconsistent as your income.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm I'm unemployed, so, you know, I can stream when I want, and it'll probably be you know, irregular schedules. But eventually I have to update my Twitch account to maybe put more info on there. Anyway, yeah. All right. So this is an out, just simply because of that hourly rate. That's ridiculous. And especially the I don't want to say heartache, but the bellyache, the responsibility you have with such a job, because there's always, somewhere consumer data and stuff that you have to shield from hackers. And with such a company that wants like one person to do everything, you're like the first and maybe last line of defense. And that's like a huge responsibility. So for that alone, I would want to be paid more, because, then I try to do my best and research to the max to try to set up the best solution. And, still worry after hours about hackers and if I did it right, and about the go live tomorrow and production, things slow down in production. I'm only rambling, but yeah, they spent over 100K, so they're a legitimate company. But this might be the contractor for 30 to 40 bucks who's working to keep your data safe in the United States. So that's kind of sad. And they want somebody to know Azure SQL database too. So, all right, yeah, less than 5 proposals at least, but and they posted last week. Yeah, good luck finding somebody good. Like, again, maybe on a future stream, I will apply to this just for fun and because the competition is not big, and just to see what they reply with. Wow. Cloud engineer, solution architect, hourly $6 to $7. This is ridiculous. Let's see here. Let's see what I have on my bingo card here. Hourly, less than $15. I'm almost, a lot of listings don't literally say rockstar, but they want the rock stars. I'm almost like, tempted here to tick that off. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Hello, I'm looking for a cloud engineer, solutions architect, trainer, teacher for one-on-one sessions, teaching me concepts and skills to be job ready. I have a fundamental knowledge about AWS, and I'm a certified solutions architect associate. Okay, not a complete beginner. Now, one company I worked for, people had a hard time even getting like the lowest level of certification, and they were working for the cloud department, which is, all right. Looking to revamp my skills with a refresher and practice problems. 2 to 3 sessions per week of 5 hours, including 1 hour for you to prep in a minimum of 3 months. Yeah, see, this is like, I don't know, it makes, maybe it's just because it's the evening, I'm a little bit worn out, but that kind of makes me a bit angry. $6 to $7 hourly, so they want to spend less than a McDonald's meal, or like a couple, Subway footlongs per day for somebody to, 5 hours, so whatever, like a good nice dinner at a restaurant. Instead you spend 5 hours here trying to teach somebody. And I say that with most of these jobs, if you can do this sort of thing and it's this low paid, then see if you can set up even like maybe some avatar like I did here, and just record some YouTube videos where you teach people stuff, and then maybe at least you have the chance of, people, the channel may be taking off, or, people finding you for better paid sessions. Whereas if you do this at $6 to $7 for this one guy, you are wasting a lot of precious time. Yeah, and then he wants to the anybody to submit a short introductory video describing your experience and the roadmap of skills and format you intend. Yeah, no thanks. Put a better hourly rate if you want somebody like that. I mean, seems like they're located in the United States. Maybe they don't know that even in India, in other places now, people get paid way more than $6 or $7 per hour if they're good and if they can speak English very well to the point where they can teach you well. Hey, where did my Twitch? Oh, I already have one viewer. Hello, whoever you are. Didn't expect that. I figured, hey, it's the evening, so probably not many people watching, but I just decided that for once, at least, I might be unemployed, but at least I can set good goals and stick to them. And I have the goal right now to stream, myself going through the Upwork listings at least once per day. All right, let's see here. Posted 1 hour ago, full stack developer for creative brief generation web app AI. All right, so we already get into the AI web apps, and we are looking to develop a web app similar to Good Brief or Fake Clients. I haven't heard about those, so let's pull up here my trusty Opera VPN window, and see here, brief. Yeah, it's always the same. They typically use large language models to summarize, where people maybe type inconcisely. I could be wrong. With brief.io or fake clients. What is that? Design brief. You know what? Maybe it's brief like briefing, like in the White House. Let AI plan the day for you. I mean, how many millions of those apps are already out there? So let me guess, we have here one of those entrepreneur bros who is not super technical and wants some poor schmuck who has programming skills to write the 500th app of the same kind. So he can say that he released a product. I could be wrong. Let's read here. All right, tailor the generated briefs based on user preference. And I should go right here. I mean, it's not well-known software, but basically he says he wants you to clone software. And again, if you can clone software, just do it. Do it for yourself and see if you can get it off the ground. Maybe offering a cheaper price. Create a user account for saving briefs, tracking completed challenges, intuitive user interface, blah, blah, blah. He might be using the same template for every single startup that came to his mind. And, he spent $600, so maybe he already spent like $200 on this idea and $200 on another idea. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just cynical right now. Yeah, like when I read that, so clearly not a technical person, otherwise they would have some preferences as to like what framework on the front end, what framework on the back end. Now I say over and over, I don't like when people don't voice any specific choices or preferences, because writing proposals is so competitive, and you want to send out and not have too much competition. And if they mention everything in the kitchen sink, then they get a million proposals from people who do React, who do Vue, who do Angular, who do Python, Ruby on Rails. This makes me think that maybe it's like somebody who used to program and maybe doesn't that much anymore. Yeah, again, any kind of database, and then he just has like, you know, this goes without saying, you know, less fluff please and more okay, just yeah, you can take the same thing just and edit this to say, oh, we want to develop a web app similar to something else, and then leave all the rest the same and post it as a job, and it looks like somebody who's valid to hire, but I bet really it isn't. So again, you know, and they want an expert. They don't say how much they would spend, but yeah. AI app development. So many people have been making a lot of money just with a thin, you know, web app front end over like some off-the-shelf AI model. And I'm beating myself up every day. You know, why have I been working on like, you know, projects that haven't been successful when maybe I could have just thought smaller and easier and actually written something where I'm not like in that situation where I am now. So, but let's move on here. Web developer needed to create a 3D model library using Thingiverse API. Okay. You know what? I haven't asked Devin something in a while, so let me see. And I tweaked him a little bit. Let's see if this works. Hey, Devin, do you know about Thingiverse API?
I don't have specific information about Thingiverse API in my knowledge base.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I apologize, but I don't have any additional reliable information about Thingiverse API to share. My knowledge about this specific topic is limited, and I wouldn't want to speculate or provide potentially inaccurate details.
Yeah.
For the most up-to-date and accurate information, it would be best to consult Thingiverse official documentation or website.
Way ahead of you, Devin. Take a look here. Okay. What else? Empowers the developer community to build tools and services for the Thingiverse community. That IoT stuff? Okay, Thing apps can manipulate, print, fix, customize, or do just about anything found on Thingiverse. Is that like the metaverse sort of like thing? Okay, Thingiverse is a website dedicated to the sharing of user-created digital design files. Okay. Oh, okay. Allows contributors to share designs for 3D printers, laser cutters, milling machines. Those are fun. Yeah, I worked a little bit in the metal cutting industry, and that is so fascinating. You know, cutting, turning, milling, grinding. Very dangerous with the you know, bits of metal flying off and stuff. But all right, so that's for maker communities. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. We're looking for an experienced developer to help create a 3D model library on our website using the Thingiverse API. The goal is to provide users with a comprehensive and well-organized resource where they can search for and browse 3D models. Instead of hosting the files on my site, I want to link directly. I don't know. Does anybody else feel already that this seems like somebody just wants to leverage a lot of open source stuff and maybe make money off a free site or API or something. Well, it doesn't say that they want to make money with it, but okay, develop a robust search engine. Search results should be fast, accurate, and user-friendly. All right. Should be. They can download the file. Okay. Does it say anything about payment integration? I'm just scanning the listing here. WordPress admin integration. The website will be managed through WordPress. Hosted on cloud. This person is very peculiar, and it sounds like they don't have anything yet. And if they were very technical, couldn't they build that themselves? Oh, the project must be completed within 3 weeks from the start date. So what database would this use for the API? I mean, they say they want to save like metadata, I guess, on the models in the database and search for it. Because there must be not a good search feature on the Thingiverse website itself, or people could just use that. Let me check here. Okay, my microphone works. I'm always like so paranoid that my microphone might be muted and stuff. Yeah. See, if somebody posts something like that, that to me is already like a complete out, you know, regardless of any other stuff, because if somebody's that rigid, does this person sound like they would give you a good review? And just like with any of these freelancer sites and gig sites, you know, you depend so much on a good review. And this person sounds like, oh, it took you 3 weeks and 1 day. You know, I gotta take the star off or whatever. So, strong experience with API, fixed price $1,000. Yeah, same thing again, where I just feel okay. You know, this actually sounds interesting. It actually makes me want to maybe start on that and, you know, just see how far I get. You know, is there not a good search feature yet? I mean, database are my jam, and I have like front ends I can reuse, and I already have my database set up in the cloud, and you know, I could tackle this just for fun. But yeah, if you can do this in 3 weeks, then, you know, forget that the person might be willing to pay you $1,000. It's way more valuable to. And here it says strong time management skills to meet the 2-week deadline. I mean, okay, so if you work full time and probably a lot of overtime for 2 weeks or 3 weeks for $1,000, and you clearly have no more time to work on anything else, then let's see, how much would you be making per year? You would be making like 24K a year or less. Oh, Upwork, never change. Yeah, multi-month. Well, it's not multi-month, but yeah, one of those ridiculous things. And WordPress sucks. You know what? I look at the Thingiverse API a little bit more tomorrow, and just I don't know. I don't want to promise anything, but I don't know. I'm almost like tempted to just throw something up, because the more showcase websites I have on my resume, the better. Okay, and they have only spent 1,000. Next, system architect and database expert for PostgreSQL server performance issues. Hourly 15 to 25. You know what? Maybe it's because I've gone online like after work hours Eastern time. So that's why maybe we have some people posting here who are really, you know, uh, yeah, just, I don't know, like one-person shops or just people, private people, you know, throwing out trial balloons here on Upwork, you know, to see if they can find a sucker, but yeah, so far kind of ridiculous. System architect and database expert for PostgreSQL server performance issues. Okay, so I know a lot about that PostgreSQL, so that's why Upwork suggested this. If we are in need of a skilled system architect and database expert to analyze the problem and provide solutions. Optimizing queries and indexes. Yeah, like so PostgreSQL is, I mean, not 100% or super compatible with SQL Server, but largely compatible with a lot of the queries and stuff. If you know SQL, if you know SQL Server, you can probably learn PostgreSQL pretty fast, but you have to optimize your queries a lot more carefully because SQL Server is a little bit more beginner friendly, that you can throw queries at it that are not optimized and they'll still run okay fast. But PostgreSQL, which is of course the open source solution, competing with SQL Server, you know, but you know, you have to be better at actually the tuning. Okay, strong understanding of PostgreSQL server architecture. I mean, all right, are they saying optimizing queries? So it sounds like it's mostly queries running slow. Okay, 1 to 3 months to complete. We're looking for an expert with strong track record, as usual. So yeah. Now I have some ideas, but you know, just for fun, let's ask Devin. Hey Devin, what are some reasons why PostgreSQL queries might run slow, and how do you fix it?
Inefficient indexing, complex joins, outdated statistics. Optimize queries, add indexes, update statistics.
Yeah, well, that's not enough. You might also want to partition tables.
Queries often result from poor database design, lack of proper indexing, or inefficient query structure. Optimizing involves analyzing execution plans, adding appropriate indexes, and rewriting complex queries. Regular database maintenance, including updating statistics and partitioning large tables, can also significantly improve performance.
Yeah, so yeah, you covered most there, but yeah, bad database design is like one of the things for sure, where maybe somebody normalized too much and then they have too many joins, or they normalize too little and then they have tons of I/O. And in fact, you know, they don't say where the database runs. If it runs in the cloud, I guarantee you that they don't give the database enough you know, compute and I/O, because you know, if they are that cheap that they only pay 15 to 25 bucks, they're probably also cheap with the Postgres plan, and it gets so expensive to run relational databases in the cloud. So USA 7K spent. See, on the future stream, you know, hopefully next stream, I might even like write a quick proposal for that. Why does it say MongoDB and Redis? Okay, maybe they have like a caching layer. But then they would need, okay, system architect and database expert. Do they say what kind of programming language they would use to interface with Redis? No, they don't. So that makes it hard to write a proposal, but you know, I could like whip up a quick proposal, send it, and then we can see if they respond. And you know, I actually have to do some research to see. I'm pretty sure it would not count against me if I do a proposal and then they respond if they sort of accept it, and then I don't want to do it after all, because I definitely don't want to take one of those, you know, multi-month 10 or 20 bucks an hour jobs. All right, so those are kind of still things I need to find out, because I don't want to, ruin my Upwork account over some streaming gimmick. But, who knows? Maybe I'll find something that'll actually be fun to do. But full stack web developer for adventure discovery platform. Okay, we're seeking a skilled, again, 15 to 22 bucks. It's like, oh, it's brutal right now. So PHP, JavaScript, to build a dynamic and user-friendly platform that will allow users to discover, share, and experience adventures. The platform will include an interactive map with filters to help users easily find their desired adventures. You will be responsible for designing and implementing the front-end and back-end functionalities. Okay, strong proficiency in all that. And React or Angular. And I guess this would be an interactive, is that 2D or do they want 3D? Familiarity with database systems and server-side languages. Okay. You know what? This seems so weird that I almost wonder if this is like somebody's bachelor degree project or master's degree project, and they just want somebody to write it for them, because it sounds like maybe something that you get as an assignment in academia. It's like a good sizable assignment. It doesn't look like something, where, why out of the blue, if you can't do it, would you decide to post this and have somebody build this? It would be impossible to market this. I mean, given how many games are coming out, and wasn't there this, what was it? Was it Concord or whatever that game was called, where companies spend like, what, 100 million on a big 3D shooter game with a huge map, and then they have like, 50 concurrent players. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think probably a lot of these are for maybe students, and of course, here we go. Python engineer, real-time data extraction for Bloomberg competition. To create a Bloomberg okay. All right, we're seeking a Python engineer to join our team. So they have a team. United States, 4K spent. Before getting further, yeah, I guess real-time data from the New York Stock Exchange and social media platforms. I'm pretty sure this is here a web scraping. Right, anything else? Do I have finance app on my bingo card? Not this time. Okay, implementing data extraction techniques, familiarity with financial markets and social media platforms. Okay, so this is kind of a fixed price, $2,222. Yeah, so they're kind of wishy-washy. This sounds like, I don't know, I don't think you would get this as an assignment at university, because, well, I mean, first of all, the Bloomberg API costs money, and then also extracting data from social media platforms using APIs. Let me think. What does this look like? Who could this person or this company be? Let's see. Have they spent? Okay, 4K spent. To join our team could just be two guys who are writing a trading platform, already have some stuff, and now they want to create a Bloomberg competition. You know what? I always get hung up here. What competition? For what's the competition here? Is like a competition between users? Does like Bloomberg have a thing where they yeah, I don't know. Okay. Maybe they are either already participating in that challenge and they need somebody to help them out. So I don't know. All right, next, hosting a script. The script is done. Let's see. Do I have runs on my machine or just make it run in the cloud here? You know what? I think I'll check off. Maybe not, because they talked about API, so maybe not bot or data scraping in that Bloomberg thing. Yeah, I don't see just move to the cloud. Hosting a script to scrape cookies using ADB from a mobile app on AWS. Okay, I have a Python script that scrapes ASP.NET session cookies from a specific mobile app that I need for a separate use case. The script will run every 10 minutes and uses ADB to open. I guess that's Android. What's it called? Again, it's been a while since I've done Android development. Hey, Devin, what is ADB in Android development?
ADB stands for Android Debug Bridge, a command line tool for debugging Android devices.
Yeah, of course.
ADB allows developers to communicate with Android devices or emulators. It facilitates various tasks like installing apps, debugging, and accessing device shell. ADB is part of the Android SDK Platform Tools package.
Okay, so it sounds like this is not like a commercial product or anything. This is just a guy who wants to get data from a mobile app that is running, and he needs to authenticate to that mobile app. And to get the data out, he uses the computer, but then he uses that bridge to the dev environment, you know, and setting the phone to or setting the emulated Android device to. Okay. Again, I'm not as well spoken as Devin here, but yeah, okay, I get. Oh, okay. So he wants to run this in the cloud. Yeah. This works perfectly fine on my Mac, but I wanted to host this in AWS, as all of my other stuff is in AWS. Okay. So he installed it on a VM on Amazon Web Services, but has a lot of trouble opening the app using the monkey circasports.co. Wow, launcher. Okay, so I think he wants to scrape data from Circa Sports, and I think I'm gonna risk it here with a Circa Sports. Oh yeah, high limit sports betting. So definitely a bro here who wants to, you know, do basically automated day trading just in the context of a sports betting app. I would never touch that, but it's kind of interesting. And let me think off the top of my head why it might not run in an EC2 instance. And the command invokes the app to start, but something is failing and it doesn't start. Thus, I can't get the cookies. Um, well, um, okay, I give myself like 20 more seconds to think about this, because it feels like something I've done. And it's definitely a little bit tricky when you run apps on emulated Android devices, and then want to kind of get the data. So it invokes the app to start, so something is failing and it doesn't start. So the app, okay, so maybe there's a Circa Sports, okay, there's a Circa Sports mobile app and it doesn't start. Well, that could be very well be something in the app where they prevent you from doing this exact thing. So, and given that this, this sounds like it's borderline a little bit. I mean, it's definitely hacking and stuff. They would, do well to, try to prevent this kind of abuse, and because who knows what this person is implementing, and as soon as you have somebody programmatically placing bids and stuff like that, who knows, that nobody wants that, not on eBay and probably not a sports betting app. It just degrades the user experience for other users. So that would be my bet. It doesn't work in a cloud because, the web or the mobile app just maybe checks where it runs, maybe where the request is coming from, and maybe it has shut off VM connections from AWS, because no normal user would run the app from one of AWS's IPs. Next, all right. Speaking of, no pun intended, experienced Next.js front-end developer with Web3 experience. Do people still say Web3? All right. Integrating with Web3 technologies. Okay, yeah, like crypto stuff. You have a strong understanding of React.js, Next.js, and Ethereum. Do we have crypto on here? I guess I'm gonna tick off finance startup. Should have experience with smart contracts, decentralized applications, and Web3 libraries such as, I guess Web3. Yeah, I guess like in the crypto world, which I'm not in, that's kind of still maybe a hot thing to say. Again, I mean, I see what they want. Who knows? Could be a company, could be a one person. Let's see, $0 spent in France. Hourly, 30 to 60 bucks, which is actually, could be depending on what they want. But this is so generic that, well, I mean, if you have interested in blockchain, maybe you already have like a showcase project that uses Next.js and Ethereum, and you fire off your proposal and actually would have a good chance with this. So if not, I wouldn't recommend even looking at this. All right. Okay, so we have another job from our buddies at Expensify who actually pay well. And have already spent over 10 million here on Upwork. And we could go into GitHub and look at these bugs. And sometimes these bugs are so, I mean, I would say some of these are even doable if it wasn't for the fact that a lot of people are watching like a hawk for every time they post on GitHub and then on Upwork. And you have very, very smart people from all over the world just wanting to jump on these and collect the $250. So I wish Upwork had more like in between. It seems like either $20 per hour or $250 to fix a little bug. But okay, let's see. Expense RBR. And Expensify is basically like an app where you can manage in a group or company people's expenses. RBR gets shown for advanced approval enabled expense if default currency is changed. And yeah, they have a whole glossary of what all the various acronyms and stuff mean. If you are a good React developer and are not afraid of, touching a code base that has some of the older React stuff in there, I would actually recommend it if you don't have corporate experience, just for that you can actually get corporate experience here, because the way you tackle these bugs and how you interact with QA and everything with Expensify, even though you're not employed there, is actually very much like you do software development in a large team at any other corporation. So for that alone, it's kind of good to look into. But again, probably a lot of learning curve to get to the point where you can compete for these bugs, and then you compete with a lot of other people who might be faster than you. Need help with adding features to Firebase React app plus Node. $50 to $25. You know what? I already can tell that if you browse Upwork at this time of day, it's probably the worst. And to browse it early during business hours, Eastern time, like I did in my previous streams, like 1 p.m. Eastern time, you're also catching the actual companies out on the West Coast. There you see a lot more recent things posted that actually pay well. These are all like, so far, I think all of this stuff was forgettable. $15 to $25, adding features to a React app. I have a pretty straightforward React app, which is in production already. Okay, need to add some features to it. Okay, React Material UI, Firebase Firestore, Node.js, Firebase Functions. Okay. Firebase is Google, isn't it? But still GCP functions are different. But anyway, I haven't worked with Firebase specifically. Wow, okay. So this is an actual company. Add a lumber order form on a page where user can add additional lumber to a Firestore doc. Select multiple docs and add them to a queue. Okay. Whether you want the additional lumber or the normal lumber. Yeah, oh, I hate MUI too. It's so bulky and it's old, and it used to be like the cutting edge look, but I don't even think that it's like that great of a look anymore. I think it's like Bootstrap. It might your site look a little bit dated, but mostly just for the bloatedness, because I have bundle phobia, so try to keep my bundles down. And with Tailwind and some of these slim UI packages, you don't need those super big components. Now, if this was like a big corporate site, maybe there's something in MUI that just want. But yeah, for maybe a little lumber company, I have a feeling they would be better served with some other stuff. But anyway, get the specified lumber in a queue. I would love to work with yeah. It is old. Like, how old is material now? It's like over 10 years old. Yeah, great for prototyping. If you are familiar with it and don't have to look up every single component, then and it's good to put on your skills, of course. I'm too honest with my resume, which doesn't help me. Like, I wouldn't put material MUI on my resume, even I've worked with it, but that's like too far ago now, in my opinion. And I'm not like chomping at the bits to work with it again. So I don't have it on my resume, but that probably rules me out for a lot of people who look, and I tick a lot of boxes, but I don't tick material UI. So, maybe I need to get more desperate and just do what everybody else does, which is like cram their resume with keywords. So, more recruiters maybe look at me. Even though right now it's like, it's a wasteland. It's like, I don't get contacted anymore, except for like 4 companies in my area that don't, or have very limited remote work. And, all right, add a MUI. Yeah, let's get back to this. Yeah, lumber. Do you know the YouTube channel Uneducated Economist? Now, for my well-being, I avoid economic news these days, but for a while I watched him, and he's actually has, I admire him for somebody who plain out says, okay, I'm uneducated, I'm going to start my YouTube channel here talking about economic factors. But yeah, he had so much insight into lumber because he's working like at the lumber retail store, or like store for companies or building material. So he actually through that had a lot of insight into what the economy was doing. And with the wild swings of lumber prices, his channel was actually really interesting to watch, with him predicting the price and explaining how that all works with that lumber mills, they scale their production down, and then suddenly if there's a housing building boom, like during the pandemic where everybody wanted to build a deck, and then the lumber factories had like all but shut down and lumber shot through the roof, and then later they cranked up production and then lumber went back way down. So I do find these things very interesting. So, and when a website has an interesting topic that interests me, then I just love working on it. So that's a big plus here. And if I had experience with Firebase, maybe this is one that I would pick and throw my hat in the ring. But oh yeah, well, and the material UI thing. Even though then I could refresh and then I could put it back on my resume or whatever. And then add an MUI checkbox to the order creation page for is quote, and store the data on that order as well. Okay, well, Firebase is pretty easy if you haven't worked with it a ton. It's just just an API, and it's not like a complex database. Okay, but again, there are so many specialists that I would not, would be hard to compete. And then, oh gosh, that hourly rate, that would be painful. So even though as somebody who's actively considering cleaning people's houses to make some extra bucks, I should be more open now to even just pick up any kind of little thing that gets me work for a week or whatever. And this at least, unlike the previous jobs listed here, this is not like a multi-month thing or multi-week thing. This looks like a fairly confined, just adding a feature to something that's already working. You don't have to, pick NPN packages and stuff. Probably communication could be pretty easy. You're clearly communicating here not with some entrepreneur bro, but with a fellow programmer, so that helps. So that is nice. Oh, okay. Actually, I spent over 80K in there. Okay, Canada has a lot of lumber mills and stuff, but already over 50 proposals and posted 5 hours ago. Yeah, so Firebase is popular. A lot of people know it. And yeah, I'm definitely, if I apply for something, I want it to be something where, I wonder if I had my microphone here in the right position. Sounds better. I want it to be something where I can really stand out. Online course app setup. Do I have online learning on my board? I almost feel tempted here to shuffle and refresh the board with some other squares, but and some maybe I should take off, like I had I've seen a few jobs where they just have a ridiculous lengthy screening process for a candidate that they put into their description of all the hoops that you have to jump through just for like a $200 contract or whatever, but that's actually not that common. And adult websites are also not that common, but all right, again, looking for an experienced developer. They don't give a hourly rate. $3,000 spent. Setting up our online course app. Hey, I want to set up an online course app. Built on new software. Requires integration with API. Ensuring smooth API integration and embedding web apps and databases effectively. All right, online course. So maybe this is like an online course in some web apps, and maybe they want to run the actual web apps in iframes maybe, or which is like such a pain in the butt because it looks like you should be able to manipulate a lot in that iframe then because it's on the same page, but you really can't. Database embedding. Medium-sized project. All right. Yeah, so, I can't even say for sure what it just feels like it's short. Is this really how somebody would write this? If they would know 100% what they're doing and what kind of person they want? But you know what? I haven't asked Devin something in a while, and maybe I'm missing something about web apps embedding because I really haven't I would be hard pressed to really, except for pulling up like something in an iframe. I wouldn't even quite know how to embed like an external web app in your own dashboard or something. Let's see what Devin says. Hey, Devin, what do you know about web apps embedding in the context of a dashboard?
Web apps can be embedded into dashboards using iframes or JavaScript APIs.
Iframes, like I said.
Web app embedding in dashboards allows for integration of multiple applications or data sources into a single interface. This is often achieved through techniques like iframes, JavaScript APIs, or web components. Embedded apps can provide real-time data, interactive elements, and customized functionality within the dashboard environment.
Okay, so the text-to-speech here didn't pronounce iframes quite right, but yeah, that's what I know. And then web components, I don't know. I'm not so familiar with what you can do web components wise. I guess maybe like you can put a web view into an Android or iOS app. It probably works with a dashboard. Database embedding. All right, so web apps embedding, maybe it's all right. I don't know. It's they could have worded this a little bit better, but it's not my cup of tea anyway. So Sky, oh, SCAI platform on AWS Marketplace. Hi, we are looking for an experienced developer to help us integrate our MySQL database hosted on AWS with Sky platform, also hosted on AWS. I'm afraid to even ask Devin that because I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing it right, but let's pull up the Opera window here. Sky platform. Okay. Haven't been familiar with that yet. Okay. They do. Of course, with a VPN here for Opera, it's always loading slow, but alright, so this is kind of a dashboard. Another one of those 100 business intelligence platforms. Seamlessly integrates with your SQL databases and your data warehouses. You just have to give it a real-time data access. Easy to use by management. Just forget about all the security aspects, that I hope it's not that way, but maybe you give maybe you type in here your database credentials or whatever to your database with HIPAA or other confidential info, and yeah, there goes confidentiality, and you hope that Sky data doesn't get hacked. I'm getting cynical late in the day. I mean, nice dashboards, but pretty sure, fellow developers can agree that very often, management here is like, oh, all your data in one place and easy to access is such a good thing. But, it's a bit of a security nightmare. And you install all SQL generated code. Alright, so this is like CRUD without... Okay, so it's sort of a no-code, I mean, it's a little bit like, I guess... gosh, I don't want to say Tableau, gosh, what's that Microsoft BI thing called? Oh, my brain is fried. Programming all day, now streaming, which is pretty demanding. But let's see. Hey, Devin, can you name at least 8 business intelligence platforms and dashboards? No? Maybe not. Maybe he's stunned. That was a kind of a not such a great question anyway. Let me see if I can do it this way. Hey Devin, can you name 8 business intelligence platforms, dashboards?
Certainly, some popular BI platforms include Tableau, Microsoft Power BI, Looker, ClickSense, Domo, Sysens, SAP Business Objects, and IBM Cognos Analytics.
Yeah, Power BI, that's what I was thinking about. Okay, so didn't even name Sky Data. Oh, well, okay, but this is open source. You know what? Maybe I have to eat my words a little bit because they say it's that's also hosted on AWS. So maybe it's self-hosted when, which makes security not quite that much of an issue. But all right. So help us integrate our MySQL database with that platform also on AWS. 15 to 35. I mean, 35 hourly is maybe sort of okay, but I have the feeling that you probably need to know some networking here. Definitely some AWS infrastructure, how you size the MySQL database, and how you configure this Sky platform. And I have the feeling if you haven't done this before, then it might take you longer than you think. And if you've done it before, then you should be getting more than that. But whatever. All right. Next one, SaaS PaaS platform development for bioinformatics. 50K budget, United Kingdom, $0 spent so far. All right, so that's software as a service, platform as a service, platform development. So maybe they want to provide an API or sort of almost be a cloud host for maybe some AI stuff. Let's see. We are looking for an experienced developer or team with a strong background in bioinformatics. So not for me, but let's read on. In cloud computing to help us design, develop and launch a cutting-edge SaaS PaaS platform for bioinformatics services. The platform will provide advanced data analysis tools for genomics, proteomics, and other omics data, catering to biotech companies. All right. Okay, so it seems like maybe they don't have anything yet. Let me hide it here. That they, at the very beginning stage. Yeah, I think this is a very competitive field. Okay, so they haven't even picked a cloud provider. Lead the development of the platform, including implementing bioinformatics pipelines, secure data storage, user-friendly web interface. Yeah. Regulations like GDPR and HIPAA for sensitive biological data. That makes sense. I mean, for that alone, I mean, this all looks already, it'll be over 1,000 hours. I mean, they want a team. So if they're willing to pay, 50K, it's basically working with HIPAA data and, basically in the end getting paid less than $50 per hour. I feel comfortable checking this off here, and that's just not right, in my eyes, because the security. I mean, with HIPAA, you need to have the utmost security, and you don't just want anybody from Upwork to throw something together. And at that point, this looks like a lot of money, but for like a ready-made full platform implemented back-end, front-end database with all the bioinformatics knowledge, which is also very valuable. It's more valuable than lumber. That's, yeah. I think usually companies would budget $1 million for that, not 50K. But then again, I'm not so familiar with all the existing tools. But yeah, 6 to 12 months for 50K. So this would be like, let's say, at a minimum, one person or team, clearly full-time, 6 to 12 months. That would be at 50K. That would be like making 100K per year. That is clearly way too low. So, but I wonder what Devin would say about if he would give any predictions how much it costs to build a bioinformatics platform. Let's see here. Hey Devon, I'm thinking of building a bioinformatics platform hosting HIPAA data. Um, how much would that cost to develop such a platform?
Costs vary widely. Consult a specialized developer for accurate estimates.
Yeah, well, I figured you wouldn't give an answer.
Bioinformatics platforms with HIPAA compliance require substantial investment. Costs depend on features, scale, and security measures. Professional consultation is crucial for accurate budgeting and regulatory compliance.
Yeah, just like I thought, substantial investment, and 50K, that's like the price of a car, You can't build a bioinformatics platform for the price of a car. Oh, I see we have a new viewer. Hey, let me bring the chat window up here. First time chat. Oh, yay, we have a new viewer. If I had animated arms, I would... You know what? I have to actually start using Stream Elements or whatever for the alerts. Yeah, how's it going? Oh, yeah, it's going. Let's put it that way. As somebody who's between a rock and a hard place, trying to find something good to work on without selling myself super cheap. So yeah, like Upwork is mostly miss. Seems like right now, especially at this time of day, because we're looking through the most recent jobs suggested to me, and it's like kind of ridiculous that a lot of these are, yeah, we've already had a bunch of like $12 an hour jobs. Well,
I've never
but
seen a streamer this bad.
yeah, I forget to look at the chat, sorry.
I'd ask you what you're up to, but I don't want to disturb your hectic nap schedule.
No, I don't. I already said I wasn't napping during the day. I came on late today because I was very busy. Okay. All right, let's look at the next job here. Senior full stack developer with Next.js and Fastify. Is Fastify that sort of API, like quick API thing? Yeah, I guess I can ask Devon. I'm getting tired of talking already. Hey Devon, what is Fastify?
Fastify is a high-performance, low-overhead web framework for Node.js. Fastify is designed for building efficient and scalable web applications. It offers a plugin architecture, support for async await, and out-of-the-box TypeScript support. Fastify also provides excellent performance benchmarks, often outperforming other popular Node.js frameworks.
Okay, so it's a little bit different. I thought Fastify was more to quickly build APIs, but maybe it's more like, is it more like something like Django in Python? Or anyway, I could look it up. Let's see, we have another chat here. I think since last year, Upwork had a bunch of bots invaded. Yeah, yesterday we had a listing where the person said, nobody from North Korea and CCP on the Chinese Communist Party, please. Yeah. Which kind of jobs do you normally go for? I love programming in TypeScript, Next.js, React, Tailwind, .NET, C#, Entity Framework, Postgres, PostGIS. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, it's time for me to go on a little rant. And like every stream, I go on a little rant why it's so hard for me to find a job. And really one problem for me is that I'm such a generalist. I would be much better off just picking one thing, like learning Airtable or learning whatever. Some people obviously make a lot of money doing WordPress stuff on Upwork. But, because I know so many different things, I can build a lot of stuff. But, also when it comes to competing now in this tough job market outside Upwork, it has happened to me that, if I interview for a .NET job and the interviewer is like somebody who's doing nothing but .NET all day, they're gonna ask some syntax questions or some questions about the latest features or whatever where I'm just not familiar, and then I don't look like a good programmer, and it's sad because maybe all my other knowledge, including SQL Server and Azure and AWS and stuff, would come into play, but just that's sort of the depressing thing, that a lot of jobs are very specialized, and now I've been unemployed actually for a while, so not only can't I show super recent corporate experience on my resume, the most recent thing I did was just an Upwork job, but I also don't, I have technical skills, but have a little bit of trouble, with tough technical interviews, passing every question. Oh well. And now my self-esteem is destroyed, I used to think I'm pretty good at all this, but now I feel like, to earn high salaries, it's all about being a specialist, I don't even need a high salary now. I just need any salary, or even any kind of decent paying Upwork job. But I feel I'm like sort of in a corner now, and then there's always the problem that I, get pulled away by my own projects. And I really love programming, so when you really love development, you don't hang on LinkedIn all day or Upwork and just do nothing but apply for jobs, but you go and you work on your own stuff and delude yourself that eventually they make money, and that's all time that then elapses, and before you know, you've been unemployed for a while, and I don't know. Being a specialist is the way to go, and I probably should have. I was deep into Azure, and then of course I had to learn AWS. Of course, I kind of wish, seeing how hot Azure is on LinkedIn, I should have just stuck with Azure and become an Azure everything specialist, and I would probably be pulling, I don't know, 180K now or whatever, instead of being this big old loser. But mistakes were made. All right, let's see here. It's the journey, right? Not the destination. At least a lot of other people are in the same boat. There's a lot of people, even with a lot more responsibilities, who got maybe laid off, are really good and have trouble finding something. And at least I don't have a family to support and stuff. Yeah, well, hey, thank you, Candonian, for the encouragement. And sort of I feel, yes, because in the past, I've had like brief dry spells or whatever, and then I always felt like, oh, I'm never gonna find a job again. And once I had a job, I saw, why did I ever think about that? Why did I ever think that about me? Because I'm really a hard worker and I can get so much done, and teams appreciate me typically, at least in the past, and how have helped so many companies, several companies, small companies that I worked for, I helped where they got bought out for hundreds of millions, literally. Sadly, I was never part of a startup where I got a piece of the pie, but I have been, I had good self-esteem and was pretty good. I'm here on the east coast of the US, let's put it that way. So, and that's definitely a problem. The city where I am right now is not large, and we have like, I want to say 4 large companies that are hiring all the time for people with my skills, and they even contact me. But first of all, they are now returned to office, and I sold my car. Okay, admittedly, I mean, I didn't have to sell my car maybe, but I did because at the time I was doing just full-time remote Upwork, and you know, used car prices were so high. I just really wanted that money in my account. But now it's like a problem because Uber and Lyft are kind of expensive, and I would have to buy a car to take an in-office job. And also, I'm probably on the spectrum a little bit. Even though I talk here pretty normal, I'm usually not very social. I don't do that well in like open offices or being around people all the time. Like I get, it really gets to me. My productivity probably drops off over time. And then my main problem is because I have been unemployed now for a while. I don't want to because often with these companies you have one shot. If I apply now and the company rejects me, I might be, they might not contact me again for another job because they found out I have just been unemployed and working just on my own stuff, and I'm, again, maybe I blow the job interview or whatever, and I cannot blow the interviews with the large employers in my area that don't know me yet. So that's why I'm very hesitant to put my hat in the ring there, even though I do have recruiters contact me for these jobs. But I don't know why some parts of the US are doing return to office. Yeah, there's a... Let's put it that way. I don't want to dox myself with my exact location stuff, but there's like a person who you might even have heard somewhere in YouTube videos or on the news that was adamant about return to office where I am, and that kind of was maybe a bit contagious in my area. And so now you have that, but then again, your salaries are still kind of high compared to like Europe. So maybe it's fair enough that they want you in the office, but it's tough. And there's I mean, I have a long career. I've worked on a lot of things, but I never really got my career off the ground, probably because I don't do well in office environment. I can't be in the same office for years like some people do. It seems like there's always something where, like just stress come in. These IT projects always get stressful, deadlines. Then you have like sometimes some drama, and if you're good, then there might be some people who don't like your ideas, or they don't like what you say, and then you just have to constantly censor yourself. And yeah, so no job where I never ended up like either in my cubicle crying or my boss's office or whatever, and that does nothing for your career. So sad. And that's probably a bit autistic or whatever, but that doesn't help with the social stuff. Okay. I mean, for your living, okay, another chat here. I mean, for your living costs, etc., what would be your minimum salary that you would accept for a year? Yeah, for a year, I mean, it's probably my 3 faithful viewers know from me going through these jobs. I'm a little bit picky because there's some things that I love to work on, and then there are other things that I am not so fond of. Now, if something is right up my alley, where it's like super fun to develop, and I've done it before, I can really shine. Those are the jobs where I go like, okay, this might not be so stressful, so I don't even mind if I have to go to the office a bit, or or if the salary is really low. Probably at this point, Um, let me think. It would be easier to say for half a year. I mean, for half a year, I would take almost anything, because at this point, it's just about getting back into the game. And I can do half a year no matter how stressful or what the team is like. Like with a year, if you commit to a year, you pretty much should be there for a year. Anyway, long blabber. I would probably even take something for like uh, hmm, uh, I don't know, half a year. Gosh, that's a tough question, because part of me wants to say, even 30K would get me out of a, tough spot, but I would be probably kind of frustrated after 3 months, especially if I tend to work a lot. I'm a real workaholic. So I don't know. I mean, I would look at anything that's 35 to 40K for half a year. Oh, wait a second. Something like that, which is maybe a bit ridiculous because I am a certified AWS cloud architect professional level. Same on Azure. Obviously, I can do a lot of stuff, but at this point, it's like getting back in the game because any interview, I pretty much have to, admit that I haven't done corporate work recently, and there are so many other people looking right now. So, anyway. Okay, agency or agency associated individual offers will not be considered. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I assume you're in Europe where salaries are much lower. Here in the US, it's kind of okay based. Yeah. Here in the US, it's kind of crazy from the just cost of living. Oh, Scotland. Yeah. All right. Well, I've been to Scotland, Glasgow and Edinburgh, and really love it there. Like, I'm so pissed because I have still my European or German citizenship, and I just hate that with that Brexit stuff. It just it just keeps me from being able to retire in Scotland, or something where I have been able. No, yeah. Cost of living is mostly lower most of the US. Yeah, in the US it's kind of really crazy right now, where if you live alone, you almost need 60 to 80K US dollars a year just to live relatively normal. And of course, I want to go back and buy a car maybe then. But I know, salaries are like way lower in Europe, and but yeah, you give me some food for thought. Maybe I should just just keep more in mind that being a cloud architect here for 80K a year would sound ridiculous, but abroad that is actually pretty good. And given my situation, maybe I should just make myself competitive worldwide, and then I don't know. I guess maybe the crux of this question was a lot that it was for a year or even half a year, because I can take anything for for shorter than that, and then do a limited contract and then use it as a stepping stone back to go and then apply for more the regular jobs here. So all right. let's look at the next one. Let's look at a few more here. So, React Node.js developer with Socket.io experience. Hourly 15 to 35. Yeah, like the depressing thing of that is Candonian here is that, like, when I look on my neighborhood website, I see like people clean houses like 3 hours for 120 or $150. Yeah, so like doing local chores for people or homeowners, and I can even do like some stuff. I'm like semi-handy. You can't get, like, if I had to call a plumber or whatever, it would be like fixed costs straight $80 plus whatever hourly, I would have to pay, $160 at least for a plumber visit. And that gets to you then if you work for like way less than that and you have years and years of experience in your field, it's tough. So, but again, a lot of people in my situation, and you just gotta adapt. Okay, we are seeking a talented React Node.js developer to assist with implementing Socket.io into our project. Okay, some real-time stuff. I hope it's not a finance app with quotes or whatever. This role will require a strong understanding of both front-end and back-end. Proven track record. Collaborate with a team. Okay. Develop and implement Socket.io functionality. I mean, there are packages for that, right? Proficiency with React. Do they say if they want TypeScript? I definitely only want to do TypeScript. This is a small size project that is expected to last under 1 month. Deep understanding of React, Node.js, and Socket.io. All right. Okay. Yeah, I've done WebSockets, or I don't know if it was Socket.io with the authentication there comes often into play if you have like your dashboard that users visit, then to make sure that the calls are authenticated. Yeah, Candonian. Yeah, that's the average salary here is. I mean, I don't know. Something has to give, because the dollars, I guess, is still fairly strong. That's why it's so weirdly that people earn way more, but they also have to spend way more in the States. But yeah, it's crazy because I mean I'm German, so sometimes I watch these German YouTubers, and when they go into German grocery stores, oh my god, I'm like so jealous how much food they can buy for so little money. And when I came to the States, everything seemed cheap here. Tech stuff, clothes, food. But now it's completely reversed. Like if I watch videos and I see the prices in Germany, it's like, oh, I want to go like to Germany tomorrow because like everything is so cheap there. And here it's like absolutely ridiculous. And it's even more worse like in larger cities like New York or whatever, where it's like a gallon of milk, which is I guess almost 4 liters, but that's like, I don't know, milk is $6 or $8. A loaf of bread is $5. A bag of carrots is $3. It's it's crazy. If you go to the grocery and you don't even, or grocery store, and you don't even buy that much, and you spend $100, then that's really depressing when you see you make hourly maybe only $15 with or $20. It's like that's why I say I can take almost anything, especially if it's fun. But I've been through that with my previous Upwork job, where then I got like really frustrated by doing highly qualified work, doing just working very hard and not making like a nearly competitive salary. So, but that's just Upwork for you. Yeah, so I would rule this out because, you know, see, they already have over 50 proposals. This is just too generic. You know, I mean, I could do it, but first of all, I would have to ask a lot of questions where they could explain a little bit more here. What exactly are they doing with Socket.io? How does that fit into their current app? What do they use for, you know, they probably have to touch the front end some, you know, so what are they using for their components? Are they using Tailwind? Are they using styled components or whatever? And then also back end, did they say what they're using? Maybe just Express Node.js on the back end. And then it could be just a plain JavaScript repository, which would be a nightmare. So given that proposals cost connect or, you know, credits, you know, can't really apply to that, you know. I wish Upwork would, you know, encourage people more, well, just to be very specific, you know. Make it easier on us freelancers to be able to apply to stuff. Let's bring up my little bingo card here. You know what? I haven't actually seen Agile Scrum mentioned in a lot of these job listings today. So, okay, Flood Vision Data Processing Consultant. You know, see, that sounds interesting and has a nice hourly rate. Part-time, okay. Continental US preferred, okay. Oh, Eastern time zone, okay. About Climate Central and Flood Vision. Climate Central, Flood Vision. Okay, so we have a URL here. Let me bring up my VPN window. All right. Yeah, so many Americans live along the nation's coasts. It's like these crazy people in Florida or in the West Bank, not West Bank, outer banks of the Carolinas and stuff, whose houses get washed away by floods and we will rebuild. Oh God, you know, people just need to move away from those coastal areas that are just gonna flood more and more. Yeah, so I like that. Okay. So we scan the streets to, oh man, that sounds so interesting. See, this sounds so interesting. I would almost, yeah, I would work on that just for fun. And because it's sort of a good, it's probably a fun team and a nice subject matter, exciting. You do something good. You know, so it really varies. You know, for this one, I would probably work just you know, for a while for $20 an hour or whatever, as long as I don't commit to that rate like really long term. Okay, fairly nice looking site. Let's see what they need done. It's probably a lot of map stuff, and of course I mentioned Postgres and PostGIS, and I do love map stuff and geospatial data. I've worked with it a ton, so anything map related actually would be perfect for me. Okay. Report the facts about our changing climate. Would really be good after the last contact, which was in the oil and gas industry. To help emergency managers communicate potential flood risk and plan for storm events. Now, I've even worked in wildfire prevention, like on maps where people were planning like controlled burns and stuff, and it was so much fun. That was a few years ago with that Esri stuff. Okay, so let's see here. Your key duties will include periodic handling of data that will be shipped to you from the field. You will use a variety of custom applications. Okay, so that's nice. No prior experience with these applications is necessary. We will train you. You know, as I'm reading this, I'm almost like, okay, maybe I have to apply to this tomorrow. Okay. Receive hard drives containing field data. Okay. So tons of data, which is my cup of tea. Examine field data for integrity and validity. Okay. Repair data using provided custom software. Hey, I can fix data using .NET and JSON and regular expressions. GPS data processing. Okay, to correct raw GPS data for atmospheric conditions. Yeah, GPS data can sometimes, I don't know. I once recorded like GPS tracks in New York, and because the buildings are so high, then later I couldn't even use the GPS data because sometimes it would just show me stationary when really I was like going down the street. It's probably not the kind of correcting that they need here, but sometimes you can fill in the blanks by interpolation. Okay, repair, update. All right, upload process data to the cloud. Return hard drives to the field team. Okay. Run custom software. The only thing that might be not so good here is that it's a data processing consultant and you're just using all this pre-made software. So I don't know how much my programming skills would come into play here. Like I like splitting videos, but if I have to like be glued to some graphical user interface and do it all by hand, you know, when I could automate it using, you know, some, I don't know, FFmpeg or whatever, then that would get tedious quickly. Monitor job progress, which may take 12 to 24 hours on cloud servers. See, they should, I don't know. Of course, it's a lot of data, but it almost makes me feel like there's probably some opportunity for optimization here. All right. With ground, use custom software, yeah. So it's use custom software for this, use custom software for that, and they probably have some, you know, I don't know. I mean, I could give it maybe a try, you know, just explain to them why I am well versed in that stuff and might even be able to help them with their workflow. Execute additional program. Okay. Assist in annotating, labeling, and cleaning data. Now, there's probably where a little bit of scripting and stuff would come into play. I'm afraid to hit save job because sometimes now if I click jobs, it'll dox me. I'll click save job later. Okay. Contribute to further automation. All right. Proficiency in Python. And Python is not my strong suit. Dang. Yeah. NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. I got a little bit into that now as I'm trying to learn AI stuff and training models, but that just has shown to me how slow I am with Python stuff. Yeah, PyTorch. Yeah, TensorFlow, I guess, is falling a little bit out of favor, but PyTorch was what I was learning. Yeah, QGIS, you know, I even have it installed. All right. Yeah, that's disappointing. Yeah, just because of the Python thing. Gosh, I really need to learn Python, you know, even just for all the AI stuff. And because I hate that I don't know it well. And yeah, it keeps me from jumping on stuff like this. I don't know. and the rate is really good. I don't know, maybe I'll still apply to this just simply because in my far past with those, fire risk maps and this other stuff where I've, just cleaned a ton of data on a large scale, maybe they will trust me that I can pick up Python quickly, but really see there I'm like a little bit too honest. Like if a company wants something done in Python, that's totally understandable, and then maybe they are best off served with somebody who actually is very good at Python. So you know what, I'll probably not apply for this because they need somebody who's already fluent in Python and maybe even a bit of that PyTorch stuff. And it's not a total beginner like I am with that, and they can probably iterate much faster on their plans with data evaluation. All right. Let's do maybe one last job. Oh, now it's already 8:30 here. It's really late. Full stack developer with Next.js, Strapi, or API. So one of those API platforms. I'm getting those confused all the time. Node.js experience. You know what? I haven't spoken at all to Devin in a while. Hey, Devin, what is Strapi or Strapi in the context of Next.js development?
There's an error in your question. Strapi and Strapi aren't recognized terms.
Yeah, probably not pronouncing that right.
Next.js development, there are no commonly known terms like Strapi or Strapi. These words seem to be misspellings or misunderstandings. Next.js is a React framework for building web applications, but it doesn't include concepts by those names. If you're referring to specific features or tools, you might want to double-check the terminology or provide more context.
Okay. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. Should have just used up. Oh, so it's a little bit like Storyblock. Oh, okay. A headless customer management system. Like WordPress or whatever. Just for Node. Okay. Oh man. See, I should start reading these things instead of just going by the title and speculating. But I'm already getting really tired, so alright. Very quickly here, okay. Maintaining, updating, enhancing a website that uses headless CMS and I guess Next.js on the front end. Doesn't tell us which CSS approach or component library. Doesn't tell us maybe if it's TypeScript. Definitely don't want to burn any connects on a JavaScript project. Then using PM2 for process management. I guess, yeah, that's that Linux like to keep sites running if they're maybe using like plain VMs to deploy their site. Okay, so yeah, they're running their own CMS. Okay. So all that is kind of regular. Yeah, I do have a little bit of experience PM2. I mean, PM2 is pretty bare bones old-timey, right? It's not that much to it. Yeah. Maybe I should give Devin another chance. Hey, Devin, PM2 for Node.js. What can I use that for besides keeping application running?
PM2 can monitor, log, and manage Node.js applications efficiently. PM2 offers features beyond keeping applications running. It provides process monitoring, automatic restarts, load balancing, and log management. Additionally, PM2 allows for easy deployment, environment management, and performance monitoring, making it a comprehensive tool for Node.js application management in production environments.
Okay, so a little bit more than I used it for, but okay. Jest, Cypress, okay. Oh, okay. CSS in JS libraries. See, if they already have an app. Okay. Emotion I don't like because it's so bloated, Does it really help the user experience? Or can you just use something really bare bones and have the site be a bit more faster? And style components, I used to really like, but even that, I don't like how they hide like all the styles, and you have to dig into every component when you want to see all the styles that go into a single screen. So I much prefer Tailwind. Yeah, that's only 15 to 35 bucks. So all right, yeah. So kind of slim pickings this evening. I guess I found something to nitpick in every single one of these, but or had to disqualify myself for one reason or another. But yeah, they are always interesting to look through. And wasn't there this one thing at the very beginning, with the things? What was it called? Yeah, for the Thingiverse API. Yeah, I might research that offline tomorrow, just to see if this is one of those low-hanging fruit things where I could, just build something real quick. And I don't know, do I need another pet project to do without earning money when I should really be applying to stuff? Maybe not, but I don't know. That's why I'm here. I started looking into so many things and then get tempted to develop a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm not good at monetizing. I'm not good at marketing. But with this channel, at least, I set myself the goal, like if I get like 10 regular viewers, that would only be 10 people where I can show my projects. And and I don't want to push my stuff on people, but it would help me get feedback, so that would be wonderful. But with this, I'm going to wrap it up now. Gosh, it's been a long day, so hope I and I have something to think about, like if I want to be competitive for jobs outside the United States. I forgot that, like, the salaries here in the US are really literally 3 times what's elsewhere. Probably 4 or 5 times what's in really developing countries. But yeah. Oh well, it's just all a challenge. So okay, gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I think I'm going to, upload this board, and I did, create a YouTube channel now too, called Devin and Me, where I will upload stuff. And yeah, look for maybe the next stream, or at the latest the stream after that. I pinky promise I will actually pick something to apply to, even if it's just like to burn some credits and for just to have some fun and to see what happens. And I'm going to do that on stream, then when I get feedback later, report back and show what people said, or if they responded or probably not responded. So yeah. All right. So thanks for everyone for watching and chatting, and I see you hopefully soon. Have a great night. Bye.